Bro, that is a lot of stuff. Alright, it's time to let you guys know what I plan on doing for the entire week. That's right, the entire week. I have a lot of parts that I've been saving in the garage for countless amount of months, just saving for this day. So I took 1 week of vacation time to work on my truck, just for the channel and to finally get these wheels on this truck. So this whole series is gonna be nothing but installing the lift kit, fixing a lot of repairs while the lift kit is out, and doing some, I guess you could say, some modifications or mods while I have a lift. So right now I'm headed to my job at Nissan, and I'm gonna lay all the parts out and show you guys what all I have planned for this entire week. Alright, so I have everything laid out as best as I can. It's probably a good idea to have everything laid out because just finding one part is just going to be so time consuming. I put all of my suspension stuff over here, and then I have a bunch of stuff that I plan on replacing over here, such as my fluid leaks and whatnot. I have a new power steering rack, a bunch of stuff. So much stuff that I actually had to use another box over here to put all my crap. I am going to follow the instructions from McGaughy's step by step in the whole process on how to install this lift. So the first thing what we have to do is install the bushings for the compression struts, and I'll show you guys how to do that now. Grab your compression struts, and what we're going to do is install the polyurethane bushings. So these are pretty easy to install. You just grab the polyurethane bushings, and then you can actually literally just press them in like so with your hands, and then you're going to need to go to the press, but you'll be able to install the bushing, the metal bushing itself, and you should be able to press it, majority of it in with your hand, but then you'll probably have to finish it off with a press. Here is the bushing that I'm talking about. So what you're gonna do is go ahead and you can get it most of the way in, like all the way almost, but you're gonna need, once it's in here flush, you're gonna need to use the press to push it all the way through. So I'll show you guys how to do that right now. Just like so. So now we're gonna go ahead and install the rest of the polyurethane bushings in the compression tubes and install the actual metal bushing as well. Apologize in advance. I'm in a working shop, so you're gonna be hearing all the other techs working and wrenching on cars, but this is what I gotta work with, so it is what it is. Next step is to remove both of the tie rods. So I'm gonna raise the vehicle and remove the wheels and then take off both of the tie rod ends. Next thing we gotta do is remove all of the ABS brackets, and then we'll remove the caliper and hang the caliper. Next, remove this clip. So next what we're going to do is remove the caliper, the brake pads, the whole brakes, and remove the rotor to get to the axle nut, and then we'll remove the axles and then start by removing upper control arm, lower ball joint, the works. Next, we're going to take off this wheel bearing. So we're going to have to remove the dust cap and then get to the axle nut, take off the axle nut, and this, I believe, should all come out as one assembly.
Oh, crap, Ponce.
Oh, snap-a-roo.
What you doing, man?
What do you mean? I'm on vacation, brother.
You on vacation?
Yeah, brother. What do you mean? Isn't this what everyone uses their vacation time for? A lot of this stuff I'm going to be replacing, but normally you don't want to hit this here, especially if you're reusing it. But since I know I'm going to be replacing a lot of this stuff, I'm just going to smack the crap out of it. We got this loose. I'm gonna remove this upper control arm, ball joint. I gotta remove the cotter pin, take the castle nut out. Whole hub assembly is out. Next thing is to remove the axles. After the axles, then I'll probably go ahead and remove the strut. I might just leave the upper control arms for right now. I might take them off. I'm not so sure. But basically everything's gonna have to get removed at one point or another. So let's get at it. Before we can remove the lower control arm, we're gonna have to remove the sway bar end links, and then I'll probably remove the lower control arm, and then I'll work on the other side and then take out the whole sway bar itself. next thing I'm going to focus on is removing the sway bar. I got 2 bolts right here and then 2 bolts right here, and then I'm going to go ahead and remove the lower skid plate here and then this front engine undercover as well. Alright, so now it's time to remove the drive shaft. Anything that's rotating you're going to want to mark. This just ensures that everything is correctly installed and that it's perfectly balanced. I'm going to mark these and then I'll start by removing the drive shaft. Okay, never mind. There you go. So we're in the process of removing this front differential, so I gotta remove this connector and then all of the tabs that are connecting to the front differential, plus this little breather tube right here. I gotta disconnect, basically get everything out of the way so we can drop the front differential. In order to remove this front differential drive shaft, we're going to have to remove this rear A-arm and remove it from the transmission mount and drop this so that we can have clearance to drop the drive shaft, because we can't drop the front differential until we remove this front differential or front drive shaft. Now that the front differential is removed, I always had to do a little lug tap. I got a transmission jack and I'm going to support it for the front differential and then move the front differential bolts. There's a total of 4 of them, and cross my fingers because I do not want this thing falling on the floor. We have a problem. I'm scared. Oh boy. Oh, I'm scared, guys. I need someone to hold my hand. Okay, so right now I'm basically coming to a stopping point for today. I'm gonna stop actually working on trying to install the lift kit. There's some things I have to do the following day, which is do some cutting here and trimming and some modifications to get this lift kit installed. But before I do that, I do want to prep underneath the vehicle with a little bit of that POR 15. There's some areas that I just didn't cover, I didn't miss, but now with all these parts out of the way, it'll be a lot easier for me to go ahead and cover those areas. The whole front suspension of this truck is pretty much gone. It's out. Since everything is removed, I'm gonna go ahead and take this opportunity to replace a lot of stuff that I've had fluid leaks on, such as my lower oil pan and my rack and pinion steering. I'll probably tackle that the other day, but in the meantime, I'm gonna have to drain this oil and to replace the sub oil pan gasket. So that will be it for today. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you all in the next video. Adios.